Hello and welcome to Breathe Fit Sugar. My name is Nikki Nie, and today I'll guide you through a 30-minute amplified yoga session to help increase strength and flexibility in the back line of your body. If you're a bit tighter in the hips and the hamstrings, go ahead and grab 2 blocks before we begin. Now let's get started with a deep breath in. And out. Go ahead and come to standing in the middle of your mat in mountain pose. So feet hip distance apart, roll your shoulders back, reach your fingertips down. And we'll begin by building the exhalation here with a nice simple movement. So flip your palms to face behind you, and then inhale and reach your arms out in front of you in 2 parallel lines until the fingertips reach the sky. Exhale, lower the arms down as you keep the ribs closed, draw the navel back to the spine. We'll work with building the exhale. So inhale, arms up for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower for 4, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, arms up for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out the nose for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale to 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale now to 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more on your own. Take the next exhale to 7 counts and then 8 counts. So it's a simple movement that allows you to stay really present and focused on your breath. And when we build the exhalation, that helps to shift in the parasympathetic nervous system so that you can remain calm as you move into moments that are a little bit more intense. And then land there, maybe already starting to feel a little bit more grounded and centered in your body. And let's go ahead and turn to face the top of your mat, continuing in mountain. This time we'll move into an Urdhva Hastasana, so inhale, arms overhead. With a straight spine, exhale, fold forward into Uttanasana. Soft bend in the knees, and if you want to use your blocks here, if the floor feels far away, you can use your blocks here. Inhale, take a halfway lift, and take a moment here to find a halfway lift. The knees can be bent, but the priority is the spine being parallel to the floor. Chin down, tailbone back. That's going to be really important as we start to build the breath in this position. If you have the flexibility here, you can keep the legs nice and straight and have hands to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, rise to stand. And then exhale, lower the arms down. So we'll work now with that halfway lift and continue to find more breaths in that pose so that you start to strengthen the low back. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, fold forward over your legs. Uttanasana, hands to the floor or to your blocks. Inhale, take a halfway lift, bring your hands to the heart center. Stay here as you breathe out. Take 1 more breath in, option to bring the hands overhead. That's gonna be a little bit more intense. Exhale, fold back in. We're gonna continue like that, adding some more breaths in the halfway lift. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, hands overhead if you can manage that. Stay there as you breathe out. Navel to spine, gazes down. If that's too much, inhale, you can bring your hands to heart center or even to your hips. That long 8 count exhale, if you can manage it when you stay in this halfway lift position. You have 1 more full breath in here, arms where you need them to be at today. Remember, it's a practice. Exhale, fold in, long exhale. Ooh, I could already feel the low back, lumbar spine heating up. I hope you do too. Inhale, we'll take 1 more round like this, halfway lift. This time you've got 3 complete breaths here. Stay in the halfway lift as you breathe out. And bring your awareness to the base of the spine. Feel the pelvic floor lift and tone. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, long exhale, and just feel the gentle lift of the pelvic floor. This is called the root lock or Mula Bandha. Another deep breath in and out, full here. If this becomes too much, hands in prayer or onto the hips. Long exhale. This awareness of the root lock Mula Bandha helps to ground your energy so that you can remain calm even in this moment of intensity, already starting. 1 more deep breath in. And then surrender over your legs. Exhale, soft bend in the knees. Give the head a little shake, yes and no. So the really power of our yoga practice is to remain calm even in these moments that feel amplified. bend your right leg deeply, keep your right hand on the floor and lift your left hand to the sky. Find a twist. Feel free to keep the left hand reaching up to the sky or wrap it for a half bind and tuck it into the crease of your right hip flexor. Take one more breath in here. And then exhale to unwind, hands to the floor, both legs a little bit straighter, head heavy. Go ahead and bend your left leg, keep the left hand planted. Exhale, reach your right hand up to the sky. The gaze can stay down or follow the fingertips if that feels good for your neck. Feel free to find that half bind, open up your shoulders. And then from here, exhale, fold back in. Go ahead and grab opposite elbows and just take a gentle sway side to side like a tree blowing in the wind. And feel already that release in the low back, which can hold a lot of tightness for many of us. And then just take a moment in the center, find stillness. Stay connected to your breath. Go ahead and plant your palms onto the floor. Step your legs back. Take a high plank. We'll hold this for 5 smooth breaths. So find that inner strength as you inhale here. Exhale, stay here. Keep pushing down into the earth with the palms. Draw your navel back to the spine. Inhale stays at 4 counts as you look between your thumbs. Exhale to 8 counts. This body is solid. Find that inner strength of stability. And you have 3 more breaths here. So take your time and really building this patience to hold things longer than what feels comfortable. And that's really where the growth happens. Is that when it gets hard, you stay with it, even if that means a modification, maybe onto the knees or onto the elbows. 1 more breath. Exhale, nice and long, nice and smooth. Go ahead and lower your knees down, bend your elbows and lower all the way down to the floor. Taking a modified version before we move into chaturanga. Inhale, take a little baby cobra, squeeze your elbows back. The back line of the body is really gonna feel this today. So squeeze, 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 chest up. Exhale, lower down, press back up to that modified plank, tuck your toes and then send the hips back into downward facing dog. Go ahead and just for today, pedal out the feet if you need to. And then drop both heels heavy down to the earth and gently let the hips dip side to side. And any other intuitive movement that your body is calling out for you to do until you make your way into stillness here. And then the second variation will move into chaturanga. So feel free to stay where you're at, inhale high plank, and use that modification on the knees and lower all the way down to the belly. If you're ready for something a little bit more intense, you'll shift forward, bend the elbows until they're in line with your shoulders. So that's the place that we want to hit for chaturanga dandasana. From there, you'll inhale, point the toes forward, lift your heart up, extend the arms as straight as you can, shoulders pull back away from the ears. So this is upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog to release. Inhale, high plank, option to lower your knees and lower all the way down or halfway down for your chaturanga. If you lower it all the way down, it's just baby cobra, halfway down up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, go ahead and take a deep breath in. Long exhale, feel yourself rooted, spin your armpits to the front of your mat, head heavy. 1 more deep breath in. I like to bend the knees, really prioritize a straight, strong spine. Bend the knees as you exhale, look forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, find your beautiful halfway lift that we worked on right at the top of practice. Exhale, surrender over, let go. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, go ahead and bring your hands through heart center and just pause for a moment and feel into your own priority of flexibility and strength in your body. Notice where you're at today and be mindful and use your practice wisely to get to where you want to go. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold back in, Uttanasana. Inhale, take a halfway lift, nailing it. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, shift forward, take your vinyasa just as we went through. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, take your right knee to your chest and step the right foot through your hands. Drop your left heel down at the 45-degree angle. So you have heel to back arch of your foot alignment. Inhale, you'll rise up. Go ahead and bring the shoulders just in front of the hips for warrior one. Exhale, stay there as you root down. Maybe bend the knee a little bit more. From here, inhale, straighten your right leg. Maybe bring the legs just a little bit closer together, and then lower your arms down. So this is the moment that if you're a bit tighter in the hamstrings, you can use your blocks to have it frame your foot, and they'll be ready right here for a hold in pyramid pose. If you don't need the blocks, you don't need the blocks. Go ahead and bring your right hand to the lower back. The left hand sweeps up overhead. We'll work dynamically through pyramid pose. Deep breath in here. Long exhale, fold into pyramid pose. Inhale, rise up. So lead with a thumb, bicep stays by your ear. So it's an exhale for 8 counts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, rise up for 4, 2, 3, 4. Good. This time exhale for 7 counts. Fold over your right leg, pull the right hip back. Keep your arm extended out. Hold the breath out for 1 count. Inhale, rise up for 4. Now we'll exhale to 6 and hold out for 2. So really using the breath as a way to harness the power of your mind to be calm and stable. Hold out for 2. Inhale for 4. 2, 3, 4. We have 2 more. Exhale to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold out for 3, 2, 3. Inhale, rise up for 4. Switching on the back line of the body. That's the strength. The flexibility is happening right in the back of your right hamstring. I'm sure you're feeling it. Now you hold the breath out for 4. Inhale, rise just halfway. Go ahead and fold in. Exhale, bring your hands to frame your right foot onto those blocks at the level that you need them or onto the floor. And feel free to have a soft bend in the right leg if you need it. We'll hold this for about 5 breaths. So holding pyramid pose, surrender over, bringing your forehead towards your shin, if that's available to you. Continue to pull the right hip back and find that smooth breath. Inhale 4, exhale to 8 counts. And this already can feel quite intense on the hamstring. And a lot of times people have this misconception that you have to be flexible in order to practice yoga. But really, it's about starting your practice of yoga in order to become more flexible. So if you're just right here today and your blocks are high and your knee is bent and you're just getting by, that is perfectly fine. And it's being able to find that patience to move slow enough, to get smooth enough, and then before you know it, you'll be right where you're at with mobility in the body. And just like that, you've done your hold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Keep your left hand firm on your block or floor. Exhale, bring your right hand and go ahead and find a nice twist. Inhale, unwind. And then exhale, step back, move through your vinyasa. So either taking the modification on the knees all the way to the belly or moving through up dog. When you get to downward facing dog, go ahead and step your left leg through your hands, drop your right heel down. Inhale takes you up to warrior one on the second side. Ground yourself here. Again, awareness to the base of the spine. Feel that pelvic floor lift and tone. Release it before you breathe in. Straighten your left leg and bring your left hand to the low back. Right arm stretches out long. Inhale. Use the breath. Exhale, fold in. Finding that long exhalation. So we're working with the breath here. Inhale, rise. To shift in the parasympathetic nervous system. So if your day gets intense, you can always use your breath to stay calm. Exhale, fold in. And that is the most powerful thing, right? Having a powerful mind to remain calm even in moments of adversity. Hold the breath out at the end of your exhale. No breath, no thought. And then inhale, rise up again with that straight, strong spine. Exhale, fold. Taking it down for 6 counts now. Hold the breath out, hold the pose, 2 counts. Feel free to engage the root lock and release it before you breathe in. Press down into the floor with the soles of the feet. Exhale is now 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold out for 3, no breath, just being present. Inhale, rise. Straight, strong spine. Don't lose the integrity of that straight spine. Last one, exhale, fold for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold out for 4. This is the magic. This is where you get advanced. Holding the breath out for 4. Inhale, rise back up, just a halfway lift. Exhale, fold in, plant the palms to frame your left foot. Use your blocks as necessary. If you need to step the right foot a little closer to your left to hold, feel free to narrow your stance in Parsvottanasana. And then again, breathe here. Maybe close the eyes and notice your urge to move and adjust. And let yourself just be the observer and watcher of that. So what I find as a practitioner of Tantric Hatha is that a lot of times we resist moving slow and being still. And the secret really of yoga is not about doing more, it's about being able to reveal, do less, and be that center that is just observing all that is moving around you, and that you can remain still, present, calm. Okay, that was pretty good. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Plant the right palm, exhale, bring the left hand, go ahead and twist it out. Maybe the gaze follows. Inhale, bring the hand back, plant the palm, step back, take yourself through your vinyasa, whatever you need. Use the variations that we learned in the top of our practice. And then exhale, take it back. Let's take the right leg through the hands, left heel down, returning into Warrior 1 again, Virabhadrasana 1. Bring the hands to heart center as you breathe out. We'll move now into Warrior 3. So you'll shift your weight into the front leg, so on your right leg, and from there, you can extend the left leg back behind you. So kick the leg up and feel free to extend the arms back or in front of you. In front's gonna be the most intense. Back I find is a little bit easier. And then use your breath again, so it's still slow and smooth. Find your gaze as you focus on one point straight down below your eyeballs. And that's your dristi. It's gonna help you stay centered. Back is super strong and you're balancing on that right leg. If you've fallen out of it, that's okay. That's why it's a practice. You can show up to your mat and do this class again and again and feel into how you are each day. From here, go ahead and surrender over, plant the palms onto your blocks again or onto the floor. Frame your right foot as you kick your left leg up to the sky and bring your forehead towards your shin. Standing split. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, bend both knees. Tuck your left leg behind your right. We'll come into a little Shiva squat. And then inhale, kick the leg back up. And then exhale, come back down. Hovering the left knee to the mat. One more. Inhale, leg comes up. Exhale, find the squat. From there, kick your left leg back up, lower it back down, come back into Warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, fold in, either step straight back to down dog or make your way through your vinyasa, if that feels good to your body, or just hold down dog. We'll go to the other side. So on your exhale, go ahead and take your left leg through the hands, drop your right heel down. Inhale, rise up to Warrior 1. Hands through heart center. So now you know where we're going. So set yourself focused. Remember why you started and start to shift your weight onto the left leg. So being able to do hard things, to show up in a way that feels like a ritual, that every day you're putting time and effort and energy into your own self-growth. I mean, that's something to celebrate right now. And maybe today you fall out, but maybe in a week from now, a year from now, this just becomes this boss move that you're able to hold at any time, anywhere. Keeping the breath smooth. Maybe finding variations. Whoo, saved it. And then when you're ready, you'll start to surrender down into standing split. Hands frame your left foot. Kick your right leg up as much as you can. Exhale, go ahead and bend both knees. Come into that Shiva squat. Squeeze the inner thighs. Inhale, powerfully kick the leg back up to the sky. Exhale, lower down. And the leg doesn't need to be high. So wherever you're at today, honor it. Be patient. Remain devoted to where you are in your journey of flexibility. And be flexible in your mind as well. Stay there. Go ahead and gently begin to lower your right leg. Bend your left leg. Come into Warrior 1. Exhale, go ahead and move through your vinyasa. Step back, shift forward, bend elbows. You know it now. Open the heart. Exhale, shift back into your downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths there.
Maybe it's a sigh out of the mouth. Just let go of any of that tension that might have built up from that deep focus that was required for that balance in Warrior 3. Allow each of your exhales to release any unwanted tension. Towards the end of your next exhale, step forward. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, surrender over again. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring the hands through heart center. I'd like you to pause there for a moment. Close your eyes. Again, feel into the right and left palm, into your balance, into how much you've already started to improve the flexibility in your body, maybe the flexibility in your mind. Bring the feet together to touch, hands to your hips. Soft bend of the knees. Go ahead and shift your weight into your right leg. I'll mirror you. And draw your left leg up into your chest. We'll take another balancing pose. Right fingertips, go ahead and bind the left toes, and we'll come into Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So as you extend the leg, today maybe it's a bent leg, today maybe you just hug that knee into your chest. So we're building. It's a practice. It's not meant to get you right here from day one. I've been practicing yoga for 20 years, like it takes time. So wherever you're at, use your breath as your center point to remain here. Don't try to run away from here. All that you're going through and feeling belongs. And then gently start to lower the leg, come back to standing. Take a deep breath in, roll your shoulders up. Exhale, drop them down, give yourself a little shake. We'll go the other side. Soft bend in the knees, hands to hips. Draw your right leg into the chest. Maybe this is where you stay like a boss and just hold. Maybe you go ahead and grab the peace fingers to bind the toe. Maybe you start kicking the foot out. I'll just pivot myself so you can see this position a little bit better. Stand tall. If you have that position, you could always work of extending the arm up to the sky. Keep the hips squared for this one. It's getting us prepared for our peak pose. We're almost there. And then when you're ready, go ahead and give the knee one more hug. Lower back down, take a deep breath in. Exhale at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms back up overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center, fold in. This ritual, this practice that you have devoted yourself to. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step the legs back. It's not just about the flexibility, shift forward. It's not just about the strength, that's a huge part of it. Open up your heart. It's about really just connecting to yourself, to your source. Maybe add a little chaturanga there if you want. Bend your knees to the full capacity of your power. In Tantra, yoga, it's really about power and harnessing that within so that you can really live your life to the fullest potential. All right, this is gonna get fun. Go ahead and bring your right leg through your hands. Shift the hips down. You can keep the back leg straight or start to bend the knee so it can land on the floor. Blocks are gonna be your friend to use as a prop here. We'll move dynamically. So inhale, come into your low lunge. And then exhale, pull your hips back, come into half split. So right hip pulls back, toes to the sky. And then deep breath in, come into the low lunge, gaze can be forward. Exhale, fold in. Use your breath as your own guide. Just move through that, starting to feel maybe some mobility, some lubrication happening in your hips. Hopefully what we've already done, this practice has started to get you more warm, more open. This next one will hold to the back. So if this hold to the back is a little bit more bent and rounded and high, that's okay. That's where you start. If you have the ability to come down and maybe not use your blocks and have the hands on the floor, you can lower yourself down here. If you've been working with this practice and with your own flexibility a little bit longer and you have the capacity in your hips to slide the leg forward, some of us live in bodies that are just always a little bit tighter and this is not available, and that's okay. So let your goal just to be to find more flexibility for yourself and not compare to where I'm at. And maybe you slide all the way into Hanumanasana. And if you have that full split, you can fold into it, continuing to keep the hips square. Go ahead and take 5 smooth, seamless breaths wherever you're at, and accept where you're at today. And really being able to honor that and not needing to always fix and change and adjust where you're at in order to feel like you're whole and enough. And to just today, in this moment, be proud of who you are and know that you're worthy of all the things, whether you have splits or not, it does not matter. That point is to be able to be flexible in your mind so that no matter what life hands you the rest of the day, you're able to be adaptable and move through life with this ebb and flow of compassion for yourself and others. How you doing? You're good? Let's get out of it. So slowly shift your way back out. You can bend the leg. Go ahead and bring the knee back and just take a moment in child's pose. So sit your hips back onto your heels, stretch the arms forward. Knees can be wide or close together. Well done. Stay with it. Try not to let the mind fly away. Keep it tethered and anchored into your breath. Inhale, shift back forward. Go ahead and step your left leg through your hands. Slide your hips down. Feel free to use your blocks as well to lift the earth up towards you. And then let's move dynamically. On your next exhale, shift your hips back, fold in. And then inhale, coming back. Exhale, shift back. We're almost there. So just ending with this peak pose of full split. This might be a session that you want to return back to twice a week if you're really looking towards increasing your flexibility. 3 times a week, every day, I don't know. And just being able to notice how far you can come and being able to have this ritual and devotion to yourself. All right, let's go ahead and hold it. Wherever you're at, hold this pose, pulling the hips back or maybe sliding the leg, left leg forward, right leg back, and you can relax your way into a position that feels a little bit edgy, maybe a little bit uncomfortable. It's playing in those moments that cause us to be a bit uncomfortable, maybe to be a bit vulnerable or do something that we're not good at. And that really lends ourselves to growth. Find your smooth breath. Relax. And those parts of your body that feel really tight and tense, see if you can use your breath and breathe into those spaces and those pockets to fill them up with more love, more ease. We're almost there. Go ahead and just from here, gently begin to roll off to your left side. Bring both legs out in front of you. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Maybe your shoulders need a shake. Draw your right leg into your chest and step it over your left leg. Bend your left heel till it's behind your right hip. Right hand to the floor. Hug your right leg with your left hand and gently revolve into Ardha Matsyendrasana. And in this twisted position, you could just take a moment to close your eyes and find a long breath in. Hold it for a moment at the top. Exhale out completely. Hold it for a moment at the bottom. Again, like that, inhale. Hold in. Exhale. Hold out. Call that Savitri Pranayama. Let's do one more round. Inhale. Hold in. Exhale, let go. Hold the breath out. Just be. Beautiful. Inhale, unwind. Extend the legs out, finishing this off. Left leg in, step it over your right leg. If you have the capacity to bend the right leg as well, feel free to take that full expression of the pose. Left hand to the floor, right hand hugs into the left leg. As you find your twist to the left, the gaze can follow, or you can keep your gaze straight forward if that's better on your neck. Let's take 3 more rounds of Savitri. So it's an 8 count inhale, a 4 count hold, an 8 count exhale, and a 4 count hold. 2 more like that. If that ratio is a little bit too long, feel free to cut it down so that it's just a 2 to 1, 2 to 1. So maybe you're just inhaling to 4, holding for 2, exhale 4, hold out for 2. Take 1 more on your own in your own way. nice. And that breath has this beautiful soothing way to relax the nervous system, unwind. We'll just end our practice in child's pose. So knees wide, sit your hips back onto your heels and stretch your fingertips to the top of your mat and relax your forehead onto the floor. I invite you to stay here for as long as you can, working with diaphragmatic breathing. So breathing into your belly, let that fall between your knees, and exhale, allowing the belly to retract towards your spine. And if you continue breathing in that way with a long exhale, it has that really soothing effect on the nervous system. That way you feel amplified in your body, calm in your mind, so that whatever happens throughout your day, you're able to remain even and have this reservoir for equanimity. So stay here as long as you need to, and when you're ready to come out, I invite you to close your practice however it intuitively feels good and authentic for you. Thank you for joining me today and for challenging yourself through this practice. For more episodes like this, make sure to check out Breathe Fitsugar. I'm Nikki Nie, and thank you so much for joining me. Keep breathing.